This is a set of £3,300 coilovers.
And this is a set of £500 coilovers.
We're testing all of these blind to see if we can tell the difference. Let's go.
We're here at a racetrack to see if a racing driver, an engineer and a car nerd can really tell the difference between low-end and high-end coilovers. Each set will be fitted to this Mazda MX-5 and we don't even get to look at them before we drive the car. So this is all based on feel. It was my go first.
Right then. Okay. Now, it's very difficult to tell because we haven't tested it against the original suspension.
There is one thing about Will that will help here. You've done a lot of driving. I've done some engineering with coilovers and dampers and things. He has slammed loads of crap cars. His entire youth, every weekend he will have been putting on different rubbish dampers.
Test a couple of curbs. There's one thing I can confirm to you. They feel like coilovers.
These are the coilovers we're testing. The lower end ones are these Teen Street Advanced Z coilovers for £552. They're not the cheapest in the world, but they're less than half the price of the next set. The coilovers in the middle is the Meister R Club Race. These are specifically designed for a mix of road and track use, and they cost £1,199. Our high-end set are these Super Miata Zeda coilovers. These are advertised as full-on motorsport coilovers, and they cost £3,361.
It's not going very fast.
Well, I don't think you need to. What kind of strategy are you going to take?
Send it.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is difficult. This is difficult to tell. They feel quite soft.
So what's a good damper good at? How should it feel?
Damping large vibrations, so like big bumps and stuff. Also settling very quickly.
I think a good damper, in my experience, like a good race damper, just gives you lots of feel, like you feel connected to the road. For me, that's the most important thing as a driver.
Now, I've had coilovers on cars. I've had some cheap coilovers and I've had some good coilovers, and there's normally a noticeable difference.
He's weaving quite aggressively.
Yeah. Reasonable amount of roll in the car. Did you see it rolling?
Yeah.
Just sent it over the
Should
curb.
be paying attention to what the car's doing now.
Oh, Callum.
Extra
You've missed out
information.
on data.
You've nailed that.
Oh, okay. Some of those curbs are giving me the information I need. I think I've made my mind up, but I'm not telling them what it is.
You done?
Yep, that's enough testing. I already know.
What do you think?
Not telling you.
Come on, Will.
They're definitely cheap ones.
Oh, he thinks they're quite good. You want to go next?
Okay. I need to do something.
What? Where you going?
I'll be back in a minute. Turn it off.
Okay. What if we all say that the cheap ones are the best?
Dude, that is a problem.
Yeah.
All race teams around the country will have to change what they do.
He's probably gone to check the weather for this weekend.
Yeah,
You know what he's doing this weekend, don't you?
Is he? What is he doing? He's racing a caterer.
He is racing his kitchen, yes.
Do you think he'll lose?
Do I think he will lose? Is that the same as if I hope he loses?
Yeah, no, that is what I hope as well.
Oh, for God's sake. What's worse than Callum in Caterham overalls?
There's not anything worse.
Why are you wearing those overalls?
Improved feel.
I didn't care what the other two thought. My racing gear would definitely give me the feel I needed.
Bang!
Good over the curbs. Whoa, the rear's very loose. My word.
Oh, he's made it around the first corner. Again?
I'm just going for the plan of maximum attack. And hoping that you get the best feel at that point, which I think is the case.
This first one's quite difficult there because we've got nothing to compare it against.
No, this is pure guesswork from experience on these ones.
It's still a bit softer than my Caterham. Let's see how it is on the brakes.
What is he doing?
Still a bit of body roll. It's not ridiculously stiff over the curb or firm. I don't think it was that good. My guess now was that that was middle. The damping was good. It was okay over the curbs.
I had a good idea where they might fit in my order, but I wasn't going to give the other two anything to go on.
Oh yeah, definitely expensive.
You've
I
made
think.
the wheels into 50p pieces.
Yeah, the tyres don't seem expensive anymore. And a big locker.
Just a little one.
Now, in my previous career as a racing driver, I used to do a lot of setup work and I used to work with a lot of manufacturers. to set up their cars, their race cars and so on. I've put these cars through a lot of dynamic tests in the past. What's important is to understand how stable they feel.
It is very hard to get in, know nothing about a car, and then tell you what the suspension's like.
And it's impossible to go, I remember what this car was like that I drove months ago. What was that like?
Scott then immediately forgot about testing and turned to drifting.
Oh, that pig skid!
So these ones don't feel like they give a whole lot of grip, and they do feel a bit soft.
It was a bit soft, I thought. Did you think it was soft?
When you initially turn them in, there's this space where you feel like the car's not supported as it rolls over. My initial guess is that these are the cheaper ones.
Oh no. What a buffoon. You are a child.
Scott then returned and gave us his expert feedback.
Yeah, definitely dampers. Definitely dampers.
I thought
What, there are some in there?
I think there's some dampers in there. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get it in the garage, shut the doors. Producer Jack and Mechanic Andy are going to swap them over for us as quick as they can, and then we're going to come out and do another lap and see what we think to the next ones.
These two are our impartial mechanics, Jack and Andy. Jack is our producer, and Andy has a carpet cleaning business, so they're the perfect guys for the job.
You lying down on the job?
Yeah, well, you know, is it lunch yet?
Jesus Christ.
They'll be fitting each set of coilovers without giving us any hint at what they are or what order they're going on.
Where is Richard anyway? Why do I have to come?
He's organising his sock drawer, I told you. There you go, nice.
Look at that. We've never worked together, you know. Before today, I'd never met him.
The second set of coilovers were fitted, so it was time to get back on track.
Don't, it's cold! Yobbo!
Maniac.
Right then, let's see which ones these are. Okay. I got some thoughts already.
This one is where the rubber meets the road, I think, because we're going to have a gauge on the other ones, right?
These are the expensive ones. But let me do a little bit more. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know.
That's rolling less. That's got less roll in it.
Hang on, I want to see it there. Yeah. I agree,
That's
actually.
rolling
Not
less.
just because you said it, I do agree.
My bum suspension dyno is telling me these are a little bit pointier. They feel a little bit more direct.
I then needed to extend my research to see how they would perform in a slide.
Oh, he's got big skid.
Cheap ones.
You do realise what we're doing here, right? We're not having a
Testing.
drift
It
competition.
was testing.
Oh, is that testing?
Yeah, I was testing.
I probably had all the information I needed, so then it was Callum's go.
Straight into it, apart from the bloody window!
I like that car.
It's good, isn't it?
It's a very good car.
Yeah.
The damping is better. Oh, good over the curbs. Right, let's try it through a faster corner, turning it in. Bit of understeer. Back on the throttle, and it does settle.
It definitely looks more stiff.
I have my thoughts with this one.
They're definitely stiffer, but I don't think they're the top ones. I still think they're not properly sorted. They feel premium.
Oh. I liked your line through that corner, by the way. You're right on the edge. Look good.
Okay, good. Good.
Doing a bit
He
of
just
testing.
paid me a compliment. What happened? He must be lying.
There's something coming.
Oh. These ones feel a bit better. Oh, it's still pretty oversteery. Much more support. Oh, a lot of drifting. These ones are better.
I know where the two I've tested sit in relation to each other,
Yep.
but I need one more to tell me whether they're at the top or the bottom.
The problem is for me is that I'm fairly set on where those previous two are. This next one could ruin everything.
Yeah.
Don't want to sound like a journalist, but everything communicates a lot better with me, so I can understand when it's going to slide a bit earlier, know how much to get on the brakes, I can feel when the tyre's about to lock up. And, most importantly, I can drift. These are the cheap ones, probably.
You don't think they're cheap.
No, you
He
don't.
doesn't think they're cheap.
Right, boys, are you ready?
With that, it was time for the final mystery coilovers to be fitted.
Yeah, Callum's a racing driver, yeah?
Yeah, so he should be able to tell what's what.
He's a what? The racing driver. He's got nice overalls, I'll give him that.
You know, these are big boys.
They are, aren't
Oh, there we go.
they? Yep, there you go. So what should we call our business for damper changing? Fast damper changing, what should we call it?
Extra damp.
Damper busters? No.
Damper busters. Can tell you're old.
I don't think you needed me here.
I just needed someone to talk to. I get quite lonely.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The final coilovers were fitted, but unfortunately the weather had taken a turn.
We've just come to drive it for the third time and it's raining.
Oh. Right, bit less traction because of the weather, but they feel positive. But are they better than those last ones?
Okay, so it's absolutely pouring down now, typical English weather. It actually won't affect the feel of the dampers. Although the circuit's going to be obviously quite a lot slower now, the feel from the dampers will be just the same.
And the lap time doesn't matter, which you proved earlier by skidding it everywhere.
Yes.
I thought I had my order, but these last coilovers had definitely changed my mind.
I think these are the expensive ones. That is now almost a guess because they're very, very close to the ones I've just been out in. But the weather,
You've got your order. You comfortable?
Yep.
Okay. I think as it's raining, we should have a drift competition.
that does sound like the only thing fair to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get to our drift competition later on, Callum went out to test the last coilovers.
Oh my word, the grip!
You'd think that he would learn.
Dampers, what are they like? Feels firmer so far. Oh, it's more settled at high speed. How's it through the change of camber? Oh my word. Okay. These are definitely the motorsport most expensive ones. Yes, it feels better. You get more response from the car. Dreadful.
Did the temperature affect the viscosity of the oil in the damper? Could you feel it?
No.
No.
Oh, that's strange.
Strange.
No.
I'm happy with how that went.
Do you have an order?
Yes.
Keep on saying it's all about the feel, really. That feel then translates into lap time for the driver. When you come into a corner, you get on the brakes and the nose of the car dives down. That's when the front springs and the front dampers compress. With more expensive dampers, you can change how quickly the suspension compresses, because basically what you do, you stiffen it up and therefore the front of the car will dive down more gently. If it dives down more quickly or less quickly, that means there's more or less weight on the front of the car, which means that the front tyres are being pushed into the circuit more or less. And so that's how you change the balance of grip between the front and the rear of the car. Sorry if I've just bored you for 20 seconds, but I find that really interesting. I can feel it already. These ones are much stiffer. There's less roll. It's easy to drive. Yeah, these are the ones. These are the best ones, I think.
Definitely thank you to Cinch for lending us their glorious track, Rocking. This is amazing.
It is good.
Because we needed somewhere very scientific to do some testing.
We couldn't have done this on a track day.
No,
We
imagine.
may have got kicked out.
While Scott was on his final run, I noticed something about his driving.
Why didn't you drive fast?
Didn't need to.
Aren't the point of these so you can go faster with your car?
Well, you haven't got to drive quickly, you've got to load up the suspension in the correct way. It was patchy, so there were bits that had less grip and bits that had more grip. So I was finding the bits that had more grip or less grip, as long as it's consistent, it's fine, and trying to understand what the suspension was like there.
Did you do that?
No.
But before we get to our guesses and the results, the greasy conditions meant we obviously had to have a drifting competition.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh.
It's controlled.
So controlled.
Are you at a safe distance?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. If Callum comes across here, we've got a major issue with Callum.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm worried about. You're gonna understeer in. Oh no, Will! We pushed him into a good drift. Oh,
That was not bad.
that was good. I'm very well. I'm disappointed that he didn't crash, but I'm quite proud of him.
I think that was okay.
Oh, that's very nice. Well,
Was that better or worse than mine? Tell me.
yours was less scary.
I'm sorry, there was enough angle there to win the International Formula D Championship 9000.
Well, we'll let the viewers decide. Put in the comments.
Seriously?
I think so. Put in the comments who you thought was best.
Childish drifting over, let's get into our guesses.
Right, I think it's time. First run. 3, 2, 1,
Low.
low. Oh, it's the same.
Unbelievable. Why? Why do you think that they were low?
I didn't know until the second one.
Yeah.
The second one just felt a little bit pointier. That's my only word I can give, but it felt better.
Okay.
Even though I think it's the low one, I was quite impressed by what it did.
I said the same thing. I said the first ones were either the low or the medium before I'd driven the second run. Okay, so what about the second set of coilovers that we drove? 3, 2, 1, medium. Oh my God, we've all done it the same!
We could be wrong, but at least we agree.
They were a bit firmer, and they also settled much more. They were better on the brakes, better on the turn-in. It just felt more connected.
So I then think that we all agreed that the last ones were the high-end dampers.
And they were better at everything.
Even in the rain, when I went out, it just pissed down with rain, but even then, I could still feel there was... Because again, going over the curbs, it just felt better than the other one, which I thought was medium, so...
It wasn't over the curb, it wasn't like a clunk and then you sort of wait for the car. It was a clunk, carry on.
Yeah.
So we all agreed on an order, but it was time to find out if we were actually correct.
Okay, so now we've got them in front of us, I think we can tell which ones are which. So we have the Taines, the Meister R's, and the Super Miata, and yeah, I think it's quite obvious.
This one, we all guessed it was the first run, correct?
Yep.
Jack? That is correct. And it was. Correct.
Well done, lads. Great feel, great racing driver feel.
Big dub. So the middle ones we all agreed on as well. So was that right? It was on the second one?
That was correct. Okay.
Hey.
So we've got all three right. That does say, right, you may think, you know, we could amp ourselves up and say we're great drivers with amazing feel. I would
Which
say
we
you
are.
The main takeaway is that anyone could tell. When you back-to-back these things, you can tell the difference. You should check out this video down here. Last time we modified our £1,000 cars and then took them out on the track to see who went fastest. See you in the next one.